welcome, welcome. You're listening to the Ask Brien radio show, ASKBRIEN. Let's look at the music. That's ASKBRIEN.com. That's our website. That's our radio show. Our guest host, Alex Grossman, is on assignment in Las Vegas. So we have our other co-host, Lynn Z. Man.
Woohoo! Hello, everyone. Wow, Rocky just must have got out of court.
I'm still battling.
Big victory, huh?
I'm taking on the big guys. So we're here on this great show now. Anyone who has not listened to the Ask Brien radio show, and by the way, you listen to 1220 AM and 98.1 FM. That's because I'm from New York, and that's how we say it. And. All right, so now here we are. We're on the radio show. Ask Brien, ASKBRIEN. What is Ask Brien? Ask Brien is a website where we educate business owners on a weekly basis. We have, on our website, we have videos, blog posts, webinars, anything you want to know to learn anything about business as ASKBRIEN. We also have experts that answer questions. We also have a business community that answers questions. So if you own a cleaning store in Atlanta, Georgia, and you own one in, let's say, Glacier, Montana, you may have the same issue as another dry cleaner in a different state. So you can ask the community. Also, you can ask an expert. So maybe there's an expert in dry cleaners or in marketing or legal, some subject matter that you want to get an expert to answer. You can ask the expert on ASKBRIEN.com, because the only way to spell Brien is BRIEN. People that spell it BRIAN or BRYAN, they don't know what they're talking about. There's only one way to spell Brien, BRIEN.com. All right, so we're here on the show today, and our current co-host, Lindsay, has not been on the show for a while, so but she's never going to be rusty. She knows what she's doing. So here we are, and we have a great, great, great guest today. They're starting a really wonderful company. And we have two people here. Lori, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, and Darren, are you there?
I'm here as well.
Okay, well, we're 2 for 2 then. All right, we're batting 1,000. All right, first inning here. All right, so, guys, first of all, the name of your company is what?
Snails.
Spell that.
SNAILZ.
Okay, well, when I think of a snail, I think of a slow-moving, fish. So let me ask you a question. How did you come up with the word snail?
Well, we were trying to incorporate the word nail into it, and we were looking at things like the gecko and the peacock and lots of big companies who've used animals and such, and then we came up with snails.
Well, you know that Geico has the gecko. So that's very interesting. Now, what is Snails?
Snails is a beauty booking platform for all different beauty salons. We've got a couple of hundred of them on the platform, so much like OpenTable, where you can book and make reservations at restaurants, on our platform you can book, make reservations, and also pay for reservations at beauty salons.
Okay, so let's take a step back before we get to snails, okay, and we're going to be moving at a snail's pace here. I've got a couple questions for you. All right, so what was your background, Lori, before you started Snails?
I actually was a social worker for about 15 years. Studied a little bit of marketing, but mostly psychology. And I was doing that until we came up with this idea, and sort of did both for a bit until this took up much of my time, and I had to put my social work on the shelf for a little bit.
Well, I know my sister is the dean of a social working school at SUNY Binghamton. She's the dean up there for social work, and I know they make tons and tons of money, almost as much as Darren. But anyway, Darren, what is your background?
My background's a little bit different. I don't really help people at all, except I try to make them money. Or that was my prior life as a technology investor. Well, I still do that. So I've spent over 20 years studying, researching, and investing in the technology space. Snails, in part is a result of both the work that I've done in this space, as well as collaborating with Lori in coming up with a business that at least heretofore hasn't yet been pioneered. Thank you.
Well, it was pioneered. It was pioneered by the two of you. So, how did you come up? How did you come up with this concept? I sit down to dinner. I'm eating dinner. I'm watching TV. I'm not thinking about, hey, I want to create a business.
Well, I actually think about that a lot. But putting that aside, as I said, I've spent a lot of time investing in technology. I've been part of companies like StubHub, was an early investor there. More in the public markets, investing in companies like OpenTable and Grubhub and HomeAway. So businesses that were all these marketplaces, and a marketplace essentially is one where you have the supply on one side, whether it's restaurants or whether it's hotels or whether it's tickets, or in our case beauty salons, and then the demand on the other side, and in many cases that's the consumers, and the marketplace operator essentially sits in the middle and connects the two sides of the market and enables the transactions, and by doing so, they typically take a percentage of that transaction. So it's a great business. Marketplaces in general, they're very, very hard to get off the ground because you have to kind of balance the supply and demand, and you can't grow one side too quickly because it upsets the other side. If you have too many restaurants and not enough customers, then the restaurants don't want to be on the platform. Or if you have too many customers and not enough restaurants, then the customers leave because they don't find enough to satisfy their demand. So they're very hard to get off the ground. But if you do get them off the ground, the kind of network effects take over, and one side kind of ends up growing the other side. And as the marketplace itself, they tend to be winner take all or winner take most type economics, because it's very hard to create multiple marketplaces in the world that we currently live in. So there tends to be one player that generally controls the market. Given that kind of backdrop, one day I was kind of walking the streets of Manhattan and kind of walked past the nail salon, and
you need to get a manicure, right?
Well, I didn't need to get a manicure, but to your earlier point about thinking about business, I was thinking about business, and again, the marketplace businesses in particular. I think this was right around the time Grubhub went public, and I was doing some work on that offering. So I happened to walk past the nail salon and kind of did a double take and went inside and looked around and saw that it's a very chaotic environment. One thing I noticed that the front desk, there was no visible computer, no technology. I saw a notebook there where they wrote down their appointments and things like that. So it struck me that this was kind of an interesting vertical that might be ripe for disruption. And from that point, I started to do some research on it, like I would any other potential investment. And a lot of the attributes that are necessary for a successful marketplace seem to fit in the nail salon industry. So I went back home and essentially talked to Lori and said, hey, I'm thinking about this idea for a business. What do you think about, the OpenTable for nail salons? Because that's kind of the way that I thought about it. And, and Lori just kind of stopped dead in her tracks and said, oh my God, that is amazing. And then went on to, tell me for 20 plus minutes with all the frustrations and complaints that she, endures in kind of dealing with nail salons and booking appointments and changing appointments and finding salons in, in neighborhoods where, she might happen to be. And, and all the back and forth, trying to, call, after they close. If you need to make an appointment for the next day, you can't do that. I mean, just on and on and on. Extraordinarily frustrated, and she absolutely loved it. And so we kind of kicked it around a bit more, and then, quickly it came to the decision that we were going to try to make this happen. And that was kind of the beginning.
So you actually touched on a lot of stuff there. And actually, you were touching on the next question, so you must have had great foresight to know what the Ask Brien was going to ask, and that was the chicken and the egg, which came first. So that was how you answered the first part of the question, and I want to go back to that, the chicken and the egg. Okay, you're exactly positively correct. On the one hand, you have to build demand. On the other hand, you have to build supply. And if you don't have, if it's not an equilibrium matter, you're going to end up with a problem. You have too many hair salons, nail salons that can't, great, I'm in this platform, it's not working for me. That doesn't work, and vice versa. If you get 10,000 people and there's no nail salons to go to, there's nothing. So how did you pick, first of all, on this chicken and egg question, which side did you pick to go and start with first?
So you have to start generally with the supply, because the first thing you have to do is build enough supply that you need to present that essentially to potential customers. We started with really just a handful of salons, a dozen or so.
Yeah, 16 on the Upper West Side of Manhattan.
Yeah, and then from that point, we real grassroots type efforts, handing cards out to girls walking around the streets of Manhattan.
That was me.
And
you got a fan here, Lindsay. She's waiting for you guys. Yeah. When are you coming to Los Angeles? She said she needs to make an appointment tomorrow. What are you going to do?
There you go. It's on our plan.
It's imminent.
Yeah. We're going to be there soon. So, but anyway, so to your question, I mean, so we start with the supply. We had a dozen or so, and then we got some girls to make appointments, and then with that we went out and ended up signing up a bunch more salons, and then started kind of marketing a bit more aggressively, doing some Facebook advertising, some Instagram advertising. Really, we were doing a lot of different things to try to see what worked and what was economical. And what we found is Instagram tends to be, for us, because it's a very visual platform, it lends itself nicely to marketing the nail business that we have, because you can show pictures of nails and girls get interested in looking at those sorts of things. In fact, the number 2 beauty term searched on Google is actually nails, and the number 1 beauty term searched on Pinterest is nails. So it's a category that has a lot of consumer interest. So it's something that we've been able to find that demand online, and with our advertising get a lot of girls to ultimately download our product and register.
Well, I can imagine in the beginning it must have been tough finding those first suppliers, because they're going like, great, I'm going to sign up, but what am I going to get out of it? I mean, what were you charging them money in the beginning, or did you give a freebie service to get some suppliers onto the platform so you'd have be able to get to that network effect?
Well, so the way that we work, how the economic model works, is that we provide them a software platform that enables them to see appointments as they're being booked. They can see the reviews that customers leave for them and things like that, but we don't charge them for it at all. So we only get paid when we bring them business, and that customer books on our platform and pays through the platform, and we take a percentage of that. So from a salon's point of view, it's almost
a no-brainer.
Almost a no-brainer, because they really have very little to lose. We collect their menu. We actually give them a very high, very professional-looking website that's bookable, that we integrate into our nailsap.com website platform. And and then we also avail some sophisticated online marketing tools that drive a lot of online traffic to their website. So we do a fair amount for them. We're really trying to be their partner. As I mentioned before, many of these salons are not very tech savvy at all. The owners tend to be older, although there is a newer generation of salon owners coming in. But for the most part, they don't have a lot of, kind of online presence, and we provide them that as well. So we think that we offer a fair amount of value, and again, the only time that they pay us is when we bring them a customer. So that's the proposition to them. It generally is an easy sell. The hardest part is actually getting the salon owner's attention. because they get propositions all day long for various services that people are trying to sell them and different things. So as you can imagine, I mean, anyone's inclination when they're about to be sold is to say no, because we all get sold all day long various things, and typically no one really wants to be sold. So so it's getting their attention, raising awareness of what we're doing, building credibility in the market, and to your point earlier, all that takes time.
Guys, I think this is the best thing since sliced bread. I mean,
I prefer bagels over sliced bread, but go ahead.
How many times have I gone to the nail salon and they tell you it's a 30-minute wait, or they turn you down, you can't get in. It's totally packed, so there's no doubt that it's super unorganized. And not only that, I was checking out your guys' app here, and I actually downloaded the app and signed in and logged in, and it was super fast. And you guys offer, I mean, the platform is super clean. It's very easy. You can see all the different nail salons. Not only that, you can see the different price points. And then you go on, you click on the picture, and you can see all the different services that they offer, which is available. You guys have exclusive deals, manicures, pedicures. And what I love about this is that you can see the pricing for each service. And that is something that just Google doesn't do, right? This is amazing.
Haven't checked out Google, but I'm sure you know.
Lindsay, you make actually an interesting point, because one of the things that we've been able to do, and this too takes time, but the exclusive deals. I mean, those are deals that you can only get on our platform. So what we're trying to do there, they tend to be higher value deals. So they could be like a gel manicure, gel pedicure, with a 10-minute foot massage or something like that, but they might be like a $60, $70, $80 service. So, the kind of quid pro quo to the salon is to say, well, you provide this pricing that that only a customer can get if they book on Snails, and the flip side of that is that we're delivering to you high value customers, because their time, an hour of their time can either be, a $15 manicure or a $60 gel mani plus, pedi or something. So, so they want those high value customers. So part of what our goal is try to deliver that to them, and through the exclusives that you mentioned, and, and other things as well, like, whether it's waxing services or chair massages, add-on type services. We try to make it easy for the customer to see and to book. A lot of times, and maybe you've experienced this, you're at a salon and you're getting a pedicure. The next thing you know, they're trying to sell you on a foot massage, and
oh yeah,
they're trying to upsell you all the time, and it's annoying. I mean, you don't want to feel like they're
pressure.
Trying to shake you down
right.
for your last $10. You want to relax. So, part of, again, what we're trying to do is provide a platform where we make it easy if you as a customer want to add a service like that, but at the same time, if you don't, you don't feel like you're going to get harassed until you agree to, just to get rid of them.
Absolutely.
Well, we only have 1 minute before we're going to take a break. And Darren, I really like hearing your voice, but I haven't heard a word from Lori. So next question's being answered by Lori.
Yay!
We're putting her on the side. All right, so Lori, now your function at the company is, what do you do for the company?
Actually, it's perfect timing for that, because as you spoke about the exclusives and the menus, that is definitely part of what I do. It sounds like it's something that would be simple, but it's not. Menu acquisition is extremely hard and complicated, because every single salon has a different name for different services, and to get it all sort of generalized the way that, like, when you opened up the app and you saw certain things to choose from, we have to fill everyone's menus into those buckets. So it's not as easy as it might sound. But my biggest thing probably is customer service, which is where my psychology and social work degrees come in. I am the one that deals with all customer complaints and difficult salon issues. So anything that revolves someone on the other end and putting yourself in their place and trying to get them off the ledge and make them happy, turn that frown upside down is what I say. So I need to do that with all of our customers and our salons.
We're going to be right back with more information from Lori, KHTS 1220 and 98.1 FM.
Healthcare can be difficult if you're underinsured or have Medi-Cal. Samuel Dixon Family Health Center can help. Services are available on a sliding fee schedule. The mission of the Samuel Dixon Family Health Center is to give the Santa Clarita Valley access to affordable, quality primary care. There are 3 locations to serve you: Canyon Country, Newhall, and Valverde. Go to sdfhc.org for more information and to find the location most convenient for you. If you have a business problem, if someone doesn't honor their agreement and you need an aggressive attorney with over 27 years' experience, the Law Office of Peter Bronstein has helped partners resolve disputes, franchisees resolve disputes, and other business owners who have a challenge. Let the Law Office of Peter Bronstein take your stress away. Visit lacorporateattorney.com. Don't wait too long and lose your rights. Solve your business challenge problem today. Visit lacorporateattorney.com.
At Jersey Mike's, we make a sub above. Bread baked fresh, veggies served crisp, meat and cheese sliced on the spot. Then comes the juice. Red wine vinegar and olive oil blended to perfection. It's what makes a Jersey Mike's sub a sub to behold. And beholding? Well, we think that works best with 2 hands. Jersey Mike's. Be a sub above.
Your Santa Clarita Jersey Mike's, a proud sponsor of Santa Clarita Sports.
College of the Canyon short-term classes begin in April and finish in May. Learn a new skill such as photography or career and life planning. Pick up a quick transferable class such as political science or math. Too busy? Take an online class. Textbooks too expensive? Search our class schedule for OER classes which don't require you to buy textbooks. Need to take a class this summer? Our summer schedule is already online. Visit canyons.edu/class schedule now.
Hometown, your hometown station, 98.1 FM and AM 1220.
Welcome back, KHTS 1220 and 98.1 FM. We have a great guest. That's Lori and Darren from Snails, and our co-host Lindsay May.
Thanks. I thought you were gonna forget about me over here. You know.
Nobody could ever forget about you. Anyway, we're back, and we were talking to Lori. Got that, Darren? Yeah. We're talking to Lori. Okay.
Thank you.
All right. So, Lori, we were talking about customer service, getting the menus and things like that. And it's like for instance, I looked on your site. It says massage. So if I want to get a shiatsu massage, am I going to be able to get one? I mean, that's the big question. And how are you putting all these? So if you go to a different salon and they have a different concept of what they're offering for their services, how do you put them all and pigeonhole them into, hey, sorry, you got to go into massage category? How do you do that?
So, yeah.
You hit them over the head with a club?
Yeah. To segue it a little bit, massages are a little bit more straightforward. Shiatsu is shiatsu. You kind of there's not really much to do with that. And the massages on our platform tend to be more like the ones for now that are at nail salons. They tend to be more like your 10, 20-minute foot massages, hand massages, chair massages, things like that. But it's really more the things like, I mean, I could bore you with all the different services, but there's UV gel, there's acrylic, there's powder dip, there's all these different names for different types of manicures, and the different salons, because of the language barriers, tend to sort of mesh them together. And so we need to sort of go in and talk to them and really get this feel of like what's what so we can put them in the correct bucket.
Well, okay, so that was a very good question you just asked. All right, so is this only available in English?
Oh, you mean the app itself, or you mean the salon app?
Well, you're telling me that there's a language barriers from some of these salons.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering, can I do it in Korean or what?
Well, no, the customers is only available in English, but the salon is available in Korean and soon to be Chinese, and probably soon to be Spanish also, because we have a lot of Spanish salons coming on. So on the salon side, we cater to the different languages. Our customers on the user side are all English speaking.
And they're finding themselves out from Facebook ads. Are you using PPC, SEO? What kind of things are you using to try to?
Yeah, so we have a whole team dedicated to SEO, and they've been tremendous at it. They've definitely gotten us onto front page selection when you Google any different salon. Let's say if you're in New York, you say salons near me, you'll come up with names of salons, but in reality, you're going to a Snail's salon website. So it's really our website where you can then book on that salon.
Okay, so that's another question. So you've got this app, and everybody comes to this app. But a lot of nail salons probably have their own websites. So are they allowed to participate by having a link to their website, or how does that work? Or is it solely through the platform only?
So it's interesting that you're bringing that up. So the higher-end nail salons, you're correct. They tend to have a lot of their own websites, and we're working on widgets to have it be like a two-way street. However, most of our nail salons are more of the mom and pop, the untapped piece of the industry. So they don't have websites. They don't have Instagram pages. They don't have anything. We're bringing them tablets and iPads to help them even get the software, and soon to be already on their phones, actually. It's going to be web-based within the next month, so they'll be able to just do it on their phone, because most of them really are off the boat, older generation, non-English speaking, non-tech savvy, older generations. So with all those barriers, we've really, I think, done a phenomenal job of overcoming, knowing that we've got hundreds of these salons that now look to us for some advice.
How many people at Snail's currently working?
And there's about a dozen employees. Then we have a handful of consultants, and our development team is based. We have 4 people here, and then there's a team over in Russia as well.
So a couple of dozen in all.
Yeah. So Vladimir's over there. Okay. So now.
Yeah. Yes.
Is he kidding? There really is a Vladimir. We do have a Vladimir.
Lucky guess,
Yeah.
So
right.
Anyway, are most of the people outside of the tech team that's working on the site, is most of the team based in New York, where you guys are based?
Yes. Everyone else is based in New York, and it's mostly operations and salespeople. Now,
do you have many salespeople, or do you have basically, somebody in marketing, somebody in sales, just 4 or 5 different categories, human resources, etc. So is it pretty spread out, or do you have mostly salespeople and a couple people just operating?
No, we actually only have really 2 salespeople, and it's actually an area where we need to hire more. And
Lindsay said she wants a job.
Well,
if she speaks Korean or Chinese, she's hired.
Or where you guys are, it's Vietnamese. And most of the salons by you are Vietnamese owned.
That's true.
The issue. So we need people who speak these languages that can communicate with the owners.
Yo hablo español poquito.
You got your LA distributor right here. Okay, go ahead.
Hablo español un poquito solamente también.
Oh! We're having speech wars. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry to cut you off, Darren.
No, that was it. I mean, but I was going to say we actually did recently cut a deal with the largest nail supply distributor in the tri-state area. So they sell into about 3,000 accounts in the tri-state area. Apparently there are 8,000 salons in total. So they have these relationships, and they're now repping.
That's just
product.
in New York tri-state area is 8,000?
8,000 nail salons, tri-state area, yes.
Wow.
Yeah. There's about 55,000 nail salons across the country, and then if you add in some of the eyelash salons, waxing salons, eyebrow, threading salons, you're probably around 80,000, which is about 7 times the number of Starbucks as there are.
So if you have a medicine ball, you could throw it far enough to reach the next nail salon.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly right.
Now, that's a lot of nail salons. Have you guys found it challenging that, a lot of nail salons, they handle cash, and when you talk to them, are they excited to get on a platform like this? I would imagine that, they'd get
Don't tell the IRS,
more
but go ahead.
exposure than they would normally get through your platform.
Yeah, so the cash, all cash business type thing, that used to be the case, but that's just no longer the case. About 80+% of their business is now done with, credit or debit cards. And you think about it, anybody under the age of 30, they don't carry cash. Right. And, increasingly people want to use Venmo and other ways to pay as well. So the whole cash notion is kind of gone. I mean, on tipping, that's a little bit different. And, they actually many salons, we allow tipping over our app, but some salons, we give them the option to not take tipping over the app and just do cash, so they can do either way. In that case, they tend, more salons tend to want to do cash there, but for the actual payment of the services, it's credit, and that's kind of where the market. I mean, the market is there already.
Darren, you can send me cash anytime you want.
Yeah, I'll Venmo it to you.
Another thing that I really like about your guys' app is that you can see a map view of all the salons in Manhattan. I had a little bit of difficulty because I had to figure it out that I had to put a New York zip code in because I'm from LA in order to find these nail salons. But once I put that zip code in, you just get all these options, and it's so nice to see them, and especially on the map view because I visit New York often. And, this is just making it so easy for me to say, okay, I'm going to be on the west side or I'm going to be on the east side downtown. And you can just know how many nail salons are going to be within this certain area.
So I have a question for you. You're supposedly going down to Miami, South Beach, that area. And my question to you is, you have a company, you have a platform, you have some people in New York. Why would you jump to Miami and not expand out to Philadelphia, Connecticut? Why wouldn't you do it that way? Did I hit you with a tough question?
Well, it's a good question. But the reason is really twofold. One is that it's a market that is, there's money there. It plays bigger than it actually is in size. So while, there aren't like hundreds of salons that there might be, say, in Boston, which is near New York, there's, maybe 50 to 100 at most, but the market itself, it's a high income market. There's a high demand for nail services in that market because everyone, needs to be made up and down in South Beach in that area. And then the other reason simply is that one of our partners has a place down there, so we have access to that market, and he's got connections there. So it was easy for us to communicate with salon owners and some kind of local people there to help launch that market.
So what is your prognosis for forecast? You're going to go to Miami when? In the next 3 to 6 months, or when?
Well, we've actually been, so we've already signed on about 1.5 to 2 dozen salons. So now it's really just a matter of sort of turning them on and doing the marketing on the customer side. So it's going to happen pretty much, within weeks, I would say.
Yeah, so Miami's going to launch, as Lori was saying, in the next few weeks or so, and then from there, to your point, we're thinking about a nearby city like a Boston or like Philadelphia that would be easy from a proximity point of view, to manage, and then we're going to move cross country to a place like Chicago, where you are in LA, San Francisco, kind of the big markets. Our view is that if we can establish ourselves in the big markets around the country, lock up a critical mass of salons, get the customer acquisition machine working, and then it'll be very hard for others to kind of compete with us. And as I mentioned earlier, this really is kind of a winner-take-all kind of market. So if we can establish enough of a presence across the country in the key markets, that leaves the secondary markets to compete with after that, and I think it'd be very hard for someone else.
Are there any competitors?
There are a lot of competitors that are kind of doing similar things in different parts of the market. The beauty category as a whole has not been cracked yet as it relates to kind of these booking platforms. Obviously food has, transportation has, but beauty, people have tried and people are going after it, but it tends to be more on the hair side, which is a bigger market, and massage. But the kind of use case tends to be a bit different, and those places tend to have technology already in their facilities. So it's a different product. It's a different kind of go-to-market offering. We look at ourselves as going after what we call the beauty chores. So the high frequency type services that women have to get done multiple times a month consistently, whereas hair, according to the research, women get their hair done 3 to 4 times a year. So much less frequent and much higher degree of loyalty. So generally speaking, if you go to a hair salon, you have your girl or guy who cuts your hair, and
We have
that's
Fritz,
the person
right?
you want to see. Sorry?
I said Fritz, right?
So you guys kind of have a concept like JetBlue in a way, where JetBlue started out providing their services to all the major hubs, all the major flying hubs like San Francisco, LAX, New York, Fort Lauderdale. Is this kind of how you guys are going to build your company out?
The big hubs first.
Big hubs first?
Yeah, no, that's right. So we want to go to the big hubs, and as I was mentioning, we want to focus on the services that are high frequency and low loyalty. So a marketplace that we built, where discovery is important, where reviews are important, verified reviews, and switching costs are low, makes what we're offering most valuable.
Right.
Now, Lori, as far as customer service goes, that's a very, very big category. But what other are you doing? Basically, operational aspects of customer service, or obviously their complaints. That's one issue, right? But with customer
Right.
service goes way around. Customer service goes.
Yeah.
Listen, you've got to keep the salons happy, and you got to keep the customers happy. And if neither one of them is happy, the platform's going to have a problem. It's going to be like a cracked egg for the chicken and egg concept. So, what do you do to try to keep the salons? What if you get a call? Hey, I'm only gotten 2 orders. This is getting crazy here. I'm not sure if I want to stay around. And what kind of people what kind of questions and problems are you dealing with on the customer service side, on the salon side, and then let's go to the customer side.
Yeah. Okay. So on the salon side, a lot of it is, let's say, about adding things to it's not a lot of complaints from the salon side, unless like a customer doesn't show up, or they're confused about a price. It's more questioning. We don't really get a lot of complaints from salons. It's really more just, it's hand-holding, because they are not used to a service like this. They've never even used one on their own, nevertheless, actually, meaning personally, nevertheless for their business. So it's a lot more of hand-holding and ensuring to them that we are there for them. It's gaining their trust is the most important thing, because they did not trust us. They didn't trust anyone when we first met them. And it takes a long time to build that with them. They're very skeptical. So I would say that that's probably the biggest issues with the salons is building their trust and answering their questions so that they're satisfied, and, having them be comfortable working with us going forward.
And so there was no issue of like, hey, how long is it going to take before I start getting customers out of this? That wasn't an issue because it didn't really cost them anything to be in the program, correct?
Yeah, I mean, no, you're right. I would say that there are some that ask when are they going to get customers and things like that. So we will do things like blast out emails to our users, and maybe we'll highlight an area and certain things we can actually sort of funnel the customers in a certain direction. For that reason, we run reports on which salons are getting how many appointments, so we can see which ones haven't had any in a week, or haven't had any in a day, or haven't had any at all. And we try to work things around so we can spread it out to everybody so that they are not unhappy.
And then on the customer side, if there are any issues, you just deal with those issues on your own and communicate with the customers to try to make them happy. Is that correct?
Yeah, something like that. I mean, we actually just went through, we've been working with some people from some other larger companies, Uber. We've got some people on staff now that have been actually in the most earliest days of Uber, and they have been instrumental in helping us not have to recreate a wheel. And I sat down with them, and we've gone and written all of our policies and our FAQs and things that you see in companies. So a lot of the customer service will come from that. I had to sort of get away from as much of the personal side of it, because when you start to roll out, you kind of have to have ways to answer people in masses, because I can't actually talk to every single person all the time like I might want to. So the customers, I think the biggest issues with them are the quality of the service that they get from salons. And that's something that we're really trying to work through, because our platform is one that wants to represent everyone, meaning you can come in and you can see the bad ones and you can see the good ones. As long as the reviews tell you and you read the reviews and you know where to go, that's fine. We don't represent, I'm not touting them. I'm not telling you this is the one you should go to. So we want you to be able to see everyone. But there are times when the girls don't like what they get and they come to us, and I've got to deal with them.
And so how are you going to do that as you go to other cities?
Well, we'll hire more people. I do use a software program for it. It's called Zendesk. It's a customer service software program. So I do use that, and that's a way that you track everything. Everything comes in and out in one place. And then as long as I'm hiring more people, which we intend to do, that's the bottom line. Is that once it starts to get too much, then we've got to hire some more people to help on the customer service side also.
We're gonna have to take a break in about 30 seconds. But is there any software or equipment required by the salon?
No, there's nothing required. We actually, for now, we've been giving them tablets that the software comes loaded on. But going forward in about a month, we're launching a brand new salon app, which will be web-based, so they can all use it on their smartphones, which will be much easier. And the technicians will be able to have it on their smartphones, which enables us to communicate much better with our whole network.
Well, that's very good. We're going to be right back at KHTS 1220 and 98.1 FM.
Hi, I'm Miles McNamara, Certified Senior Advisor and owner of Comfort Keepers in Home Care. Our caregivers help you in your own home. A Comfort Keeper can provide companionship, meal preparation, medication monitoring, assistance with personal care, transportation to doctor appointments, all enhancing your independence and safety in the comfort and privacy of your own home. So if you or someone you love could use a helping hand at home, call Comfort Keepers at 287-4200. That's 287-4200.
At the Burrito Factory, their motto has always been to serve quality food with fast, friendly service. But did I mention the taste? When it comes to authentic taste and huge mouth-watering burritos, the Burrito Factory is second to none. Whether it's lunch, dinner, or a catered event, Burrito Factory has the taste of Mexico to satisfy your craving. Burrito Factory on Soledad Canyon Road next to Chi-Chi's Pizza in Canyon Country. Stop in or call ahead, 288-0222.
If you have a business problem, if someone doesn't honor their agreement and you need an aggressive attorney with over 27 years experience, the law office of Peter Bronstein has helped partners resolve disputes, franchisees resolve disputes, and other business owners who have a challenge. Let the law office of Peter Bronstein take your stress away. Visit lacorporateattorney.com. Don't wait too long and lose your rights. Solve your business challenge problem today. Visit lacorporateattorney.com.
Southern California Edison wants to help you and your family stay safe around electricity. Whether you're on the job or in the yard, coming into contact with a power line can hurt you. Always keep yourself and any tools or objects at least 10 feet away from power lines. Never approach or touch any downed wire or any person or object in contact with it. Call 911. Go to on.scE.com/staysafe for more safety tips. Stay aware, stay safe.
Imagine a 100% maintained solar energy system with no out-of-pocket expense. Imagine a solar company with big corporate experience here in Santa Clarita, made up of experts who live and work in our valley. Find out how simple it is to reduce your energy expenses now with a free consultation from HomeLink Solar. We are your neighbors. HomeLink Solar, your home better, your life better. Visit HomeLinkPros.com to find out how you can save with solar with no out-of-pocket expense.
Hometown, your hometown station, 98.1 FM and AM 1220.
Welcome to the Ask Brien Show. The following is paid programming and does not necessarily reflect the opinions of KHTS or its ownership.
Welcome back. I almost got thrown off the chair by that last punch. Rocky really knows how to punch him. Oh, wow. KHTS 1220 and 98.1 FM on Ask Brien Radio, ASKBRIEN, because that's the only way to spell Brien. And we've got our co-host today, special co-host today, Lindsay Mann, because our other co-host, Alex Grossman, is on assignment in Las Vegas, and our great, 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 great guests, Darren and Lori. So the first question I have for you is, this product and service that you're offering sounds great. It also sounds very expensive. How are you affording to do this? I mean, besides selling Girl Scout cookies at your desk.
Yeah, that's our funding strategy, is Girl Scout cookies. And then we don't deliver the cookies, so it's all profit.
All right.
But aside from that, starting any tech business of this kind of magnitude requires a lot of capital. There's no question about it. This isn't something that is profitable right out of the gate. Now, this isn't going to be like Uber or Lyft that are losing $1 billion plus a year, but at the same time, this is going to require millions of dollars to kind of get to that critical mass, as we talked about, across the country, penetration into a large percent of salons, building up the customer base, marketing dollars, things like that. So far we funded it both personally and with kind of friends and family capital, and that has got us to where we are today. And we still have some money left there, but we're now gearing up to roll out a more institutional type capital raise, where we're going to go to kind of seed type investors and early stage VCs, and with the goal of raising around $5 million or so. And that's something we're actually going to be starting literally in the next couple of weeks. So we're just getting the final pieces of our investor presentation together.
So I have two last questions. One is, basically, you're looking for a Series A funding. Is that what you're looking for? Or
yeah, it's kind of more seed capital type funding, just because the market is such that Series A investors now are looking at $20 million plus type rounds, and I think we're still kind of like in that $5 million range. So that tends to be what's called seed. So it's kind of pre-Series A.
And Lindsay has some more questions. Go ahead.
Yeah. So, Lori, this question is for you. I just wanted to hit on 3 things that I really love about the app, and I wanted you to go into some detail on how you guys came up with these ideas. So I see here you have an option for a gift card. That is so awesome. How is that doing for you guys?
It's actually doing surprisingly well. It came out, I believe it was around holiday time. We launched that, and we left it on the platform. It was going to be like a holiday special kind of thing, but it's turned into being an appreciation gift, a birthday gift, a thank you for watching my kids gift. I mean, we've seen all different things coming through, so it's actually done really well.
That's awesome. And so that's a great way to make, another way of revenue. And then you have also, I love earning things, and these days you can't be a part of any membership that doesn't have a rewards plan, and so you guys have Snail Rewards as well. And how does that work?
So that actually has been really funny. The girls love it. So anyway, as you said, you can earn points and then redeem it for some sort of cash towards your purchase. So they basically spend their dollars, and every dollar gets counted as a point, and then certain numbers of points get redeemed for $5, $10, $20, whatever the amount is, towards their next purchase. It goes into what we call a Snail's wallet. The other thing we have that you don't see on there yet, which is coming out soon, are digitized punch cards. So if you go into sandwich places, salons, what have you, and it's, in your 10th one, you get the 11th one free type of a thing. So we are inviting all of our salons to join that. If they have their own, we will digitize it for them. And if they don't, then we will create it for them. So we now can reward our girls for booking over the platform in its entirety, and also for being salon loyal.
That is awesome. And whoever keeps those pieces of paper either, right? So the digital is just perfect.
Well, I have a question on that.
And then, I'm sorry, I just have one more thing here. So I see that you guys also have the Nail Always on point. Is this different from the Snail Rewards? It says it says there's get $7 each time you refer. Oh, so it's refer a friend. Okay, sorry about that.
Yeah. So yes, that's refer a friend. So if you refer your friend, once that person will get $7 towards the appointment that they make, and once they complete and payment is processed on their appointment, $7 goes into your Snail's wallet.
That is awesome. So there's so many different ways to earn back by being a part of this platform. And then on top of it, the gift card and being able to give things back. I mean, this is great.
It's very giving.
It's very convenient.
So I have my last question on this punching program here. How does that work? Because one salon may be charging $80 for a service, and another salon may be charging $45 for that service. So if you're going to punch out 10 and get a freebie, how does that work? Can you use it at the $80 one or the $40 one, or how is that going to work?
So basically what we're doing is taking the existing salon loyalty program that they have and just replicating that on our platform. So, if you go to Jenny Nails, and Jenny's offer is, after the 10th service, get
Gotcha. So it's
10% off
right.
your next one, or free manicure, whatever it is. So that's just being replicated, and we track that on our platform. So when you've gone 10 times to Jenny Nails, that's what you get. Every salon will have a different reward, and that's up to them, and then we'll track that for customers.
Right, and even for the salons that don't already have it, when I say that we're inviting them on board, it means that we will create one that is salon specific to them. To your point, it has to go along with the pricing that they have.
Well, thank you very much, guys. We ran out of time. We'll have you back on as you expand and grow your network. Thank you very much, Lori. Thank you very much, Darren. KHTS 1220 and 98.1 FM on AskBrien, BRIEN.com.
Thank you.